Recapping our top stories now. In China, 160,000 people have been evacuated from homes in the most imminent danger if massive quake lakes break their walls. Meanwhile, two powerful aftershocks have destroyed another 420,000 homes.
Angry over soaring fuel prices, fishermen and truck drivers have staged protests in France and Britain, with more strikes planned in coming days.
And the extension of house arrest for democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been condemned by leaders around the world. The UN has joined the US and the European Union in criticising the decision. Well, we're joined now by Burma analyst Monique Skidmore from the Australian National University. Good evening to you. What's your understanding of the new house arrest order? There is a view that says it could be illegal under Burmese law because Aung San Suu Kyi has already been in detention for 5 years.
Yes, it is illegal under Burmese law because she's being held under the State Protection Act, and that only allows people now to be held who are considered to be destructionist elements for up to 5 years. However, in 1991, the same law was amended from 3 years to 5 years, so it seems very likely they'll either simply amend this law again or otherwise simply keep her under house arrest for another year or two until the new parliamentary system is in place.
Well, the Burmese government has basically, flipped the finger at international opinion when it comes to either the cyclone or political developments. Is this basically par for the course in this case as well?
Even more so in this case, because Aung San Suu Kyi is an issue which represents real political danger to the perpetuation of the military regime. And so this is a process they will monitor and keep very close to their chest. They're not going to allow themselves to be swayed in any way by international opinion until they're finished holding this constitutional referendum and then their elections in a couple of years' time.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that response to the cyclone. The UN Secretary General says the generals are, quote, moving in the right direction. Do you accept that, especially when it comes to this $11 billion that is needed for the cyclone assistance?
I think that the generals will get very little of that. Most of that will come in the form of material aid, because many governments have learnt the lesson of giving cash to this military regime. So obviously there needs to be a level of transparency and oversight in giving aid to the Burmese regime, but inevitably some amount of that will probably disappear in some way. The point here, of course, is that this aid is desperately needed now, and at least the aid, some amount of this aid will get through.
There are fears, of course, that some of this money may end up in the bank accounts of the generals.
That's probably true. And there's just nothing we can do about that at the moment, because what we need to do is to get aid to that 2.5 million people severely affected by Cyclone Nargis. They shouldn't be made to suffer because they happen to live under a regime that's very good at siphoning off money.
OK, Monique Skidmore, thanks once again for joining us.
A pleasure.